I didn't even have this down low enough. This is my tabby boy. My tabby boy. Hi. Welcome to my channel. This is Tabby Boy. And I'm Leather Rokk. And first of all, happy 420 for all of you who celebrate it. That's actually not the title or the theme of tonight's live stream. However, that's not to say that it might not come up later. But I'm really excited about what I'm about to talk about today. And I know I don't go on video talking about things I don't care about, but I'm really, truly excited. And I'm excited about something that cost me such a small amount of money. And I have to share with the world the things that I care about, especially if I think that I got something that is such an incredible deal. And hey, Emmanuel, how the hell are you? I have not seen you, heard from you in about, 3 weeks? You know? Uh, you missed all the drama, and now I'm in my home studio. I'm not in the most exciting place in the world. Oh, somebody wants to say hello to you. Oh, look what I got. Whoops. Oops. Look who I got, Cassie. Say hello to Emmanuel. She's a bad girl. You want to know where she was? She was digging through the trash earlier. And, it doesn't do any good to yell at a deaf cat. Well, yeah. She is, and she did something else. But you know what? Wait a minute. Here. I gotta show you what else she did. Oh! Oops. Yes, let's show everybody your paws. Let me see if you can see something. Oh, where is it? Let me see. Show them your paws. Show them your orange paws. You want to see why her paws orange? My cat got in. My cat. Oh, I'm sorry. My cat got into my brother's chicken nuggets last night, and they were chicken wings, and she got hot sauce all over her paw. She just loves to go digging through stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna move this back further back where the light's better. But actually, you know what? This is all about lighting. I have been buying things from wish.com, and I'm not a salesperson. I am an entertainer. I'm a dancer. I'm a writer. I play a little bit of guitar. I am a visual artist. I am an actor. I'm a model. I do many things. I'm into athletics. But one thing I'm not is a salesperson. If I am going to sell something, either I'm going to be paid really well for it, but it's got to be something I believe in. Now, nobody's paying me for this thing I'm about to show you. They don't even know I exist, okay? But I want to up my lighting game. My lighting situation here in my home studio, which is basically a crappy little bedroom, is this crappy overhead light. That's not what you call professional studio lighting. I'm trying to do the best I can with what I have. I had a floor lamp before, and it finally bit the big one. That would at least give me some light on my face and bounce on the back wall. And I still am in the process of getting more lighting for that. But another thing I wanted to do is I wanted to have something portable that I could attach to my computer. So when I walk around, I would compensate for those times when the low light situation happens. And one time, I was filming a makeup tutorial on the beach, and I thought I had the light perfect. And I moved my computer, and I couldn't use any of the footage because my face was totally in shadow. Well, check out what I got on Wish. It just got in the mail a couple of days ago. Isn't this the cutest thing? This ring light, it looks too good to be true, but let me show you. Let's get closer to the back wall. And matter of fact, I'm going to unplug this so that I don't trip over the computer. Yeah, I heard. I want to say some things about that, but I don't want to offend some people. First of all, I didn't watch the footage. Okay, I understand that you can't watch the footage without being absolutely sick to your stomach. But that said, there's a whole lot more to it than just what happened that contributed to his death. There's a whole lot of there was closed circuit TV footage and also footage that it was contributed by other cops, by other businesses around the area, and that's all the stuff that the jury saw. So they saw a whole lot more than any of us saw. So for anybody to talk about things that we did not have privilege to see, or the disgust rather, because I think that it must have been really hard to see it. I chose not to watch it because uh, I knew it would be traumatic, and I also knew that the limited thing that we, the public, saw would give us a distorted view, and the court of public opinion so often condemns people before all the facts are in. So because of that, I choose to stay out of this, and I only hope that there's not going to be any more looting and destroying of businesses and unnecessary violence. I hope people knock it off. That said, I don't want to talk about that really right now. You can watch the news if you want to talk about that. It's not that I don't care, but I have other things to talk about. And anyway, back to the subject of my video. This little light here is the coolest, cutest little thing, and it really does work. And it comes in a nice little pouch. And I would like to actually do something with a mirror so that you can see just how this works. But you know what? I'm going to bring you into the bathroom because it's not as chance of looking messy as if I put the mirror in here. So follow me, and we're going to go. Oh, it's a shame Cassie doesn't follow me in here. I would like to show proof that she likes to drink out of the toilet, because I think maybe she's hung out with dogs in a previous life. So, well, I would have preferred him to get the lighter of the 3 sentences because there were so many mitigating circumstances, and with all the drugs in him, the guy probably would have died anyway. But that said, okay, I am now in this bathroom, and as you can see, there's a mirror behind me. So with the mirror, I'm going to show you just what this little light does. First of all, it's got a clip on it, and it is supposed to be for a cell phone. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to close this door just so that if there's any noise, if anybody comes home, they don't, get disruptive. Okay, you can see the mirror here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you how it clips on. The light obviously has to be facing. Okay, I clip this, goes behind my computer, and I want to make sure that I don't cover up the microphones that are on either side. So if it's perfectly centered, it should, and let's get close to the mirror so you can see what it looks like. Okay, but of course, and I will show you what the cables look like. First of all, the cable it actually comes with is this little white thing here, and this would attach perfectly to a cell phone. But since I'm not using a cell phone, I'm using a computer. This cable here is my own cable, the black one. This is actually from one of the was so kind as to send me a link to have a hotspot for 30 days, and it came with a box and a cable and stuff. Anyway, this is a cable, and I'm about to do this right now, since obviously this doesn't stretch to the port area. I am going to, okay, this thing fits on top, and on like this, and then this part If I was one of the other cops around, I would have done something to stop it. But the thing is, I'm not a cop, and I shouldn't talk about what they go through because I haven't been there. I know that when there's adrenaline going on, it can be hard to be chill. But I also know that there's probably a thing about not interfering on somebody else's arrest. I don't know. I can't speak about a job that I've never had. I think it's so easy for those of us that most of the people watching me, I suspect, are civilians also, and we have no idea the hard job police have. I'm struggling with this in the USB. Okay, I'm going to turn my lights out so that you can get a better view of this. Okay, turn this light out. Okay, now I got to feel around to where the light is. The thing is, this did not come with an instruction book. Okay, however, that said, there's a button behind it. Look at that. Okay, but wait, there's more to it. If I press this button again, okay, I'm going to stick my hand, I'm going to put my arm out as far as I can. Stick my hand out, I'm going to press it again. That's even lighter. I'm going to press it again. It's even lighter. And press it one more time. So you could see this is a three-way light, but when it's off, it still has a little tiny bit of a red glow on it, so you can tell that the thing is plugged in and working. Again, the first light. Now, I'm going to put my lights on like normal, and I'm going to put the other light on. So you could see here where this light would really come in handy. And imagine coming from a normal light situation to going outside where the light coming from your device wouldn't be enough to illuminate your face. And you can take pictures. And another great thing, you see how it's clipped on? Now watch in the mirror here. I'm holding it to the side. As you can see, it stayed clipped on here. It did not slide off. Now, this is more than I could say for my clip-on webcam. I have a better quality webcam, the Logitech C920, I think, that's been recommended by a lot of the better YouTubers that teach us how to do our craft. I have that clip-on webcam. I've only used it twice because it makes my hair look very blue. And of course, if you have purple hair, you want your hair to look purple. So, but one other complaint I have about that webcam is it has a very light clip on it that does not stay on it when I hold it sideways like that. This clip stays on. So I could be walking around outside filming like I do, and it's not going to be jiggling around. And I imagine when it gets windy out, it will give me a little bit of a stability that a looser clip would not have. And you want to know the mind-blowing thing about all this? Is I'm walking into the kitchen now. I'm going to tell you how much. You want to see what Cassie just said? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this guilty little girl. Oh, look at that. Anyway, as I started to say before, I was interrupted by my bad cat. I'm going to tell you how much this ring light cost. I couldn't believe it till I looked in my notebook. The cost of this ring light was $6, and the shipping was $2. So for $8 all told, I got this cute little ring light. Now, I don't know how long it's going to last, but still, for supplemental lighting to make my videos and my selfies look better, the pictures that I take in my studio and that I take outside, this is a three-way light, and I got it on wish.com. But I have something that will help you guys get a deal. Because obviously, on a site like Wish, that has so many fun things. And I'm going to talk about fun things. I like to take a look at Wish with my mother. And one of the things I like to do when I'm looking at the products on there, I like to read the comments. And you got to look at not only the people that give things a 5 stars, but I like to look at the people that give things only 1 star. Because sometimes people are expecting, so you got to do your own due diligence with Wish. If you're looking at the jewelry, and if you watch my videos, you know that I get a lot of junk jewelry and cheap jewelry and stuff from Wish. If it's going to say 18 karat gold, and the price is 69 cents plus $2 shipping. If you're expecting real gold, then really, who's the idiot? So you got to understand that considering the cheap prices you're paying, you should not expect it to be real designer or real gold. You probably could get real silver there, but I don't know. But if you just have realistic expectations for what you're getting, but I have a discount code for you. Now, it's also in the show notes. This, and it's in use small letters. This code will get you $5 off your order, whether you're a new customer or whether you have ordered before. If you more than 30 days ago, use this code. This code, and if you can't read it, it's VWTPD RG, and it's lowercase. This is my special code. If you use this, you get $5 off your order. It just has to be, you have to be either a new customer or it has to be 30 days, 30 days or more since your last order. See, I thought it had to have been over a year since you ordered, but I really like this company. I love the stuff that I've gotten from them. That Chromebook that I had that just recently finally died, I had at least 2 years use out of it. That saved my channel. Because of Wish and the inexpensive products I got in the inexpensive electronics, I was able to keep my channel alive until I could go to bestbuy.com and get the Lenovo, which is what I'm doing this live stream from now. I really am so happy that I discovered this company. And like I said, use this code, save it. This is my code. If you now, and yes, something, because of the Federal Trade Commission, they're very strict with us. We have to be honest on YouTube when we're promoting products, when we give discount codes and things. Yes, I am getting something out of this. If you use this code, you're going to get $5 off your order, and I'm also going to get $5. And this can only happen for me 20 times. So if more than 20 people do this, I'm not going to get more than $100 out of it. But still, and nobody's used this yet. But I'm telling you, use this code, you get $5 and I get $5. And it's probably not going to seem like that big of a deal, considering how much goodies you're going to buy on Wish. The stuff I get from there, I love so much. I mean, I'm looking at this box full of all kinds of jewelry and stuff, and I love my purchases. I really do. I love knowing that I can go and put on things, and you know what? I could give you another hint here. If you want your cheap items to not tarnish, get some clear nail polish. Paint it on your fake gold. That will keep the electroplate from chipping off as fast as it would, and also might protect your skin from being turned green, but don't quote me on that because it might not work for you. I don't think the green turning is a big deal because, soap and water does work. But I have gotten the most interesting things from Wish.com, and the skincare I can't complain about. The makeup I can't complain about. And the things, my mother and I, we were looking at some things. I was looking at the lighting, first of all, and then started looking at the jewelry, and my mother, she was cracking me up. We saw these things. If you're familiar with hip hop jewelry, they had grills. If you don't know what a grill is, it's like false teeth that's dripped in gold and diamonds and platinum and all that. And some of the wrappers put them on their teeth. And so anyway, I'm looking at these things, and it says 14 karat gold, and it says like 18 bucks, and it's $10 shipping. And first of all, who's going to expect gold to be that cheap? Second of all, I'm thinking that's got to be so uncomfortable to clip them onto their teeth and everything. But then again, I guess for a video it would be cool. But anyway, we're just looking at these things, and we're reading the comments, and the people say if it's good, my man likes it, and all the different things that people say. And then of course the people that are disappointed because they actually expected real diamonds and real platinum. And yeah, I'm going to pay $28 for real 14 karat gold, upper and lower. All right. But yeah, it's I think it's a fun site, and also I like the idea that I'm supporting small businesses as opposed to the multinational national corporations. And also, since China does not have to test on animals anymore for their cosmetics, they changed the laws. I'm not saying that they're all of a sudden a great bastion of civil rights and they love everybody and they still don't want to kind of beat our asses. But, just because a government's wacky doesn't mean the people are that way. There's no need to feel bad about a culture that might not have anything to do with the way their government is. Our own government gets wacky sometimes, and we wouldn't want to be judged by those idiots, right? I mean, look at the people in Congress. Do you want people to think that you are like that or that I'm like that? I don't think so. So, yeah. What do you think of my little light? And okay, now I walk around different places. Let me sit in front of my bed here. Doesn't this light actually make things look better? And I bet when I do my next makeup tutorial, I can have this light. Now, they do have a more expensive version of this that actually has the colors of the rainbow in it. I don't know if you get all of them or you get individual lights. But I think that especially if you need to show vivid colors, you want a white light so that it can show off. Like if I had a red light, then you wouldn't see the colors of the rainbow in here. It would blot out some and it would accentuate others. Now, there's going to be more lighting that I'm going to be buying on Wish. I would like to get a studio recording light on. I think that should be red. But I'm thinking I should have another light that should be purple so that if, say, I turn out all the rest of these lights so that I can have a little something, maybe I'd like to have something here for the backdrop here, for back here, and then for the studio area, which, yeah. So I thought that this was a quality and intriguing enough of a purchase that I thought that I could devote an entire video to it. Normally, I would wait till a bunch of things arrived and I would have a haul video. And actually, I had a number of things that did get in the mail, but I am waiting for some other things. And I want to do maybe a general haul video, but there are certain specific things that I want to talk about. But yeah, when I got this, it just arrived yesterday, and I was very, very, very happy about it. And they let you know by email, that you have a package waiting. So I was very happy to see the mail carrier. I said, I know that there's something special in that box for me. They let us know. So I'm going to turn it off. It's really easy. First I didn't like the fact that they didn't have an instruction book, but this actually does not have a whole lot of things. See? And the button is just right here. There. And I'm going to unplug it. And that way it doesn't use the lamp inside there unnecessarily. I wish I knew exactly how long. Oh, and there's even a piece I don't know how long it's going to last. There's a piece of protective plastic to safeguard the lamp itself, but I'm going to leave that on for the time being. So, and this is the box it came in. Now, inside the show notes, I actually put a link. I cut and pasted a link to the specific make and model. It doesn't seem to have a brand name on it. It just says Selfie ring light. And the back of it says this. Do be advised that if you're going to use something like this on your computer as opposed to your cell phone, you're going to need a bigger cord. And these things, you can get these things, they're probably, I won't call them a dime a dozen. I do know that at the 99-cent stores here in town, they sell all kinds of charger cords. And I got one of each a couple of years ago, hoping that I could use these to transfer data in between computers. That was the initial use for them. But most of them seem to be for connecting cell phones to their chargers or different things. And I guess you could use them for tablets also. Um, that reminds me, there's something else that I'm thinking of buying that I saw somebody else have, and I kind of got. I guess, can you have a lust for electronics? Because if you do, let me tell you about it. It was a rainbow. It was a backlit keyboard, and I love backlit computer keyboards. They're so much easier to see, especially in low light conditions. Having a backlit keyboard really spoiled me. About 3 computers ago, I had a backlit keyboard, and but this is a keyboard that attaches by a USB, so you could use it in addition to, or if you had a computer that didn't have its own keyboard, like if you had one of those pedestal kind of keyboards, pedestal computers with the touch screens, they still don't have keyboards. Anyway, this has a rainbow. The top, I don't know if the top's purple or if the top's red, but anyway, it goes the colors of the rainbow. Each row is backlit. And now there's a company called Red Dragon that makes them, but they tend to be gaming keyboards. And they have all these fancy features, special dedicated keys for different functions that you would use if you're playing video games. But I wouldn't need all those fancy features. I just like the fact that it's backlit. That really helps in low light conditions, because especially considering that I work with my computers. I have these day job tasks that I do that involve playing media, and sometimes I take surveys, and a lot of things involve letting ads run. And the thing is, I'm doing all this on one computer right now, and this computer I'm convinced is on its last legs. So I need to get another device so that I can do things simultaneously. It's hard to do everything at one time, and I'm not able to get as much work done. And one of the things that suffers as a result is I don't have nearly as much time to watch other people on YouTube, since I don't have another machine. And I would really rather, I need to focus on day job work, obviously work, money, we need to do that. And I'm also trying to schedule my COVID vaccine appointment now that the vaccines are open to everybody. But then I wanted to check on what the weather is. Tomorrow we're supposed to have thunderstorms, supposed to be really bad. And if it's just plain old rain, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But thunderstorms, I do not go out in them. So I wanted to, as soon as I found out what the weather was, then nobody had appointments. But I'm trying for places that I can walk to. The scheduling system last week tried to tell me that there is an appointment for a place. There are appointments available for a place they thought near me. Turned out to be almost 200 miles away. They think that Newark, New Jersey, is near here. No, I mean, maybe if I was flying in an airplane or something, it would be near here. But I really do want to get the vaccine, but I don't want the Johnson and Johnson. I never wanted it anyway, but now that they say that one of the side effects can be the blood clots, and that's something that's in my family history. My great grandmother died of blood clots, so we definitely that's one of the things that we always worry about when we look at the medications anybody ever gets prescribed. So my mother and I are in agreement on that. That neither one of us wants the Johnson and Johnson. So I'll take the Moderna or the Pfizer, and who knows what's going to be made available later. But I'm going to try for that. They were going to make them available at Walgreens, and yesterday they said they had them available. But as soon as I did a weather check, because I mean, I could have. I'm not going to go and make an appointment until I know the weather. It is absolutely terrifying to be scanning the skies, checking for lightning. And I'm the kind of person that it's not the sound that scares me, it's the light itself. So later in the day, it gets where you're more liable to see it. It's the flash of the light that I find very terrifying. So another thing that I plan on buying that I probably will get on Wish, I want to get soundproofing. Something that I can, like that roll up foam that I want to put over where my windows are so that when they're having the noise going on outside so that I don't hear it. It's really, you have people that loiter around and congregate, and sometimes people get amplified music involved. Sometimes people downstairs decide to, and maybe they have permits, I don't know, but they never let us know ahead of time. And there have been times when I wanted to go live earlier in the day and there was all kinds of rackets going on outside. And if it was just noise, that'd be one thing. But when it involves people playing music, I can't risk the copyright strike. So if I can have something that would muffle the ability of the noise from outside to getting here in the house, that's something I've been wanting for a long time. And I remember all the time I spent in California hanging out with my musician friends. When bands would be living in residential apartments, they would have that foam insulation and they would tack it up, line the walls with it and things. But that was more to protect the neighbors from their noise. My needs for the soundproofing is to insulate my studio from the outside noise. So I would need something more along lines of the panels that the studios would be using for that. I was looking at the video on Twitch of Joe Pag's his video, and I saw the kind of soundproofing that he had. But then again, I'm sure that all these studios are also in interior walls of buildings where they would also have insulation from the outside. I would think they also, yeah, that would think that would be their primary concern. So, and I also want to make sure that I don't end up with something that's flammable. And I'm not going to be doing something that's even a semi-permanent installation. I would like to roll it out for when I want to use it and then roll it back when I take it down because I sure don't want to have the windows obstructed. I want to be able to still hear things like the doorbell ringing and things. So, because I seem to have a perpetual issue with the mailbox key. I find it, and I found it for a while, and then I was just getting ready to check the mailbox and something else, and don't ask me how I misplaced it somewhere. And it's an ongoing joke in this house. So anyway, yeah, but I kept on forgetting today is actually 420, and do any of you celebrate it? Oh, Raven, I'm sorry I should have said something, but hello, how are you? I never want people to think that I'm ignoring them. I think it's time to light a candle, don't you? I gotta find it. Where did I put it? Uh, you know, it wouldn't be 420 if I didn't acknowledge it. And got something. Got my coffee grinder. And you know what? I think something needs to be ground. Here, because sometimes I use that to block from the people. Oh, and there's Cassie. Where's Cassie? Oh, look, I got Cassie girl. I got Cassie girl. My baby. Oh, my baby. My baby. All right, where? Oh, this is a little lighter. I mean, my. Yeah. Now, I'm hoping that my computer will be fine. Nobody's going to knock anything over anybody. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get this lit. Okay, Cassie. Yes, Cassie boy, I see what. Oh, look at all this. My cat did it again. Oh my god, I miss that club. I miss. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah. Well, thank you for finding me. I had a little bit of a stuck on stupid moment. Cassie, my deaf cat, she knocked over the recycling again. So, you see this candle? I'm about to commit an act of miscreancy. Now, I have to be careful about this because YouTube, they're doing their best to demonetize certain behavior they don't like. And like I could sneak a little bit of weed into things, but if I totally make a weed video, what they have been doing is they have been age restricting videos. And when they do that, that means obviously if you're under 18, you can't see it. But that doesn't bother me too much. But what it does bother me is they also pull the ads in the future. When I'm eligible to have ads, they are going to take them off of anything that is age restricted, which means if you talk about certain subjects that YouTube feels uncomfortable about, they are going to hit us in the pocketbook because, big tech and censorship and all that hippie bullshit. And I just think it really sucks that YouTube is finding their ways to restrict our free speech. I am a free American. I love my country. I might not always say what people want to hear. Sometimes I have to say what I have to say. And I don't like somebody telling me that there's things I can't talk about, especially when I'm not saying things to hurt other people. I'm not trying to corrupt anybody. If I'm talking about things that I happen to love and some of you happen to love, who the hell is being harmed by it? And granted, there's other things I talk about that some people might not like to hear me talk about. I do talk about political things because they matter to me. And I think that's part of what makes my channel different from most people's, is that I dare to mix things and combine things. I am variety enough. I'm not niche down. That means that my growing is going to be really slow. But I like a lot of things, and I'm more complex than that. Oh, you want to see my tabby boy? Tabby boy, oh my tabby boy, I got a tabby boy. And that tabby boy, why did you get wet? This is my tabby boy. Why are you wet? You know what? Let me wash my hands. I don't trust my cat. My cat's bad. Raven, I think I remember you. I was wearing the pot leaf tank top, wasn't I? And that was a fun show. And I'm trying to think. Slayer played, and somebody did get me stoned at it, and it was in Camden. And I still have the pictures from that. I have 8 disposable cameras that I still have not developed, that I really want to develop. And I have a thing where I procrastinate sometimes. And yeah. And I don't think I have been to Tweeter Waterfront since then, and I don't think they even call it that now. They keep on changing the name. They keep on, they name all these places after all these tech companies and all that stuff. Now, one show that I went to that I had a lot of fun at, it was a 2-day festival. It was Metallica's Orion Music and More, and this was at Bader Field in Atlantic City I think this was in 2011 maybe. But the thing that made me nervous is that they were forecasting there's a slight chance of thunderstorms at the end of the second day. So I was kind of a little bit nervous scanning the skies, because I have a phobia about lightning. If it's just plain old rain, I don't care about it. But lightning, I am scared about. And I don't want to make a mess here. I'm going to put this back on my stand-up desk. This is such a practically Sanford & Son studio setup, because I'm on a real low budget, but it's more fun to build things gradual. And I take pride in doing things as inexpensively as possible. Well, first of all, it's a survival thing. Second of all, why not? And even if I didn't have to economize, it's really great to watch what you're spending money on so that you have more money for things that you really want to do. Like, there's going to be a time when this pandemic's behind us and we'll be able to go to concerts again, and we'll be able to smoke weed with our friends and whatever. But it seems to me that people are still doing that. I don't know about where you guys living, but what I'm observing, looking out my windows, people are definitely, life is going on. They're wearing face masks and things, but people are still going out. And I'm seeing that some tickets are going on sale. It looks like there's going to be concerts this summer. And I really want to get the shot so that I can be protected, so that I can get my life back. I miss traveling. I miss being able to go and see my friends. I miss going to concerts. I miss going to clubs. Man, I miss going out dancing. I feel very deprived of human companionship. And the thing is, since I don't drink anymore, weed is the only thing I do. And when I see other people letting loose with the alcohol, I feel a little bit jealous in a way, because I can't do it anymore. And yet, the thing that really gets on my nerves, and I've talked about this before, here in Atlantic City, well, New Jersey, weed is legal for everybody 21 and over, okay? And yet, it's really hard to find places where you can smoke it. And here in the casino hotels, even where they would have smoking rooms, they all say they don't allow weed smoking. So if you don't have the fancy vape pen, and you have to be so careful, because if they can smell it in the room, whoever is registered to the room, they can get a $250 fine. And you don't want to be the person in charge causing somebody to have that happen. And the thing is, what I would do, I'm sure I made a video about it, how you blow the ways to filter your smoke out so that you don't leave the smell behind, that I have successfully used in other in other hotels. But one time I tried in a casino hotel and somebody smelled it and they didn't appreciate it, and it was could have been more awkward even than it was. Fortunately, they were drinking, so, but still, don't think that just because you're sober and somebody's drinking that they won't notice things, is what I'm saying. But I am going to show you, and I'm going to hope that YouTube doesn't use that flash of the green as an excuse to mess with me later on this. What I'm thinking to do I do know that there are some other video sites that are much more weed friendly, and people told me about them. I'm going to have to look at the chat transcripts from earlier live streams. I'm going to find out the identity of some of those other services. I'm going to join them too. And I am on Twitch, but I've never broadcasted from there before. I'm thinking there may be some sites where I may have to do the live stream on that site, and then take the file and then put it on YouTube also. That way I can do the thing live where it's weed friendly, and then I could post it here where even if they demonetize me or they say that it's age restricted, people will still be able to see it. I'm gonna try to get all this in the frame here. Hello, Tabby boy, how you doing? My Tabby boy. I'm over 21. I'm gonna blow the top of the window anyway. There. I find if I open up the window and I blow smoke out the window, it doesn't accumulate in the house as much, and because it really can get obvious, and I don't want the neighbors to be too aware of things. I don't want problems. I'm trying to keep a low profile where I live. I don't normally try to be like that, but in recent years, things have gotten so hectic with the neighborhood. I'm glad you asked. I set everything aside here for this. I had to actually add something to it because it does not have a green. This palette, let me set this stuff down here. I really like it a lot. And let me see if I can find the box for it. It's from Tarte, and it's the Let It Rainbow palette. And the girl who actually inspired it, see, I don't understand why they don't have her name on it. It's Paige something or another, but it doesn't have a green. Take a look at this, and I'll show you the green that I ended up using with it. This is a Hot Topic green eyeshadow. I got two Hot Topic greens, this lime green, and I have this more of a emerald green, but this does not have, how can you have a rainbow without a green? So, and I can't help myself. I love rainbows. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. And this does not, I mean, if you look at the outside of this, it shows a green. And I got this on Sephora, by the way. I got it half price on their clearance thing. Sephora normally has high-end stuff, and I'm much more of a budget girl. But if I see something and I love it, and also on Swag Bucks, they had a deal one time that I actually was able to get a $30 Sephora card for the equivalent of $20 or something. A really, really good deal. So it was a combination of my getting the gift card for cheap and getting things on clearance. Otherwise, I don't splurge on high-end stuff. I really don't. But this, I think I may have paid $9 for this, honestly. And this single eyeshadow from Hot Topic, this was 99 cents. And these are wet dry shadows. These Hot Topic shadows. It was obviously, it has been well used. It was one of these dome shadows, these bake shadows. And normally I take them, wet the brush, but I actually applied everything dry. I'm going to get this up, 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 up against the, so you could see this. And you know what? I didn't even think to do a tutorial on it because I do so many rainbows. I wanted something that was nice and bright for my live stream today that didn't look like any of the makeup tutorials that I did recently. I could have easily posted one of the makeup tutorials today, but I wanted to do a stream about this ring light. But you know what? If I hadn't done that, it would have been a special 420 live stream. And maybe I should have done that. But then again, I would have just gotten in trouble anyway because I would have kind of carried it too far. I know me. But the thing is that I'm getting really frustrated with YouTube about the censorship thing. That they are getting really picky with us about the things that we're not allowed to talk about, we're not allowed to show. And now I'm all for protecting kids. I understand. And I understand that me providing the content, once the content's out there, I can't control who sees it, who, a person may watch it who's an adult, but they may be babysitting while watching it, and I can't control that. But still, that shouldn't be our responsibility to think about every foreseeable circumstance. There should be some responsibility on the person involved, that if you're reading about the subject matter and you know that there's something in it that bothers you, it's against your religion or whatever, if it's going to stress you out, maybe don't subject yourself to it. I would waste time watching things that would make me angry. So, I accept certain personal responsibility here. But yeah. There was something else I thought I wanted to show you that was in that. Yes. The highlight that I use here is the B&H Cosmetics Duo Light Highlight. It's a 9-color palette that, now I still like the Black Light Highlight palette the best. But, and this probably is better for people that have a more wider range of skin tones, I suspect. The Black Light Highlight palette that I usually use is, I think, best for the lightest people, but a palette like this, I think, can be used for a more wide range of people, and you can use these as eyeshadows also. It took me a long time to get this. I got it on sale. If I don't get, I try to get things that are on for at least half price. I really can't afford to throw my money around, and especially now I'm saving for a used bus. Okay, so that because rent's expensive. And when I found out what my family is paying for rent right now, and unfortunately, I'm not really bringing money in. It's things that COVID is causing things. I don't need to tell you that. And any of the work you can travel for, you can't travel for. Oh, this is the mascara that I'm using, and it's not waterproof. Better Than Sex. That's what they call it. It's by Too Faced. Um, I like that it doesn't scratch my eyes with this brush. This brush looks a lot like the ColourPop BFF mascaras, and even though the brush looks the same, the BFF ColourPop mascaras, those brushes are so easy to scratch the eyeballs, and I don't care for the formula, and it costs too much, $8, which you probably think is cheap. It's not a good mascara. This is not the waterproof version. This is a pretty good mascara. I only put a very, very, very light coating on it, almost none on the bottom because I didn't want to smear anything. But I would only get it on sale. And I first had the mini version on the that came with the Christmas star, which I'm really not happy. Most of Too Faced palettes, I get disappointed. They throw in all these neutrals in them, and they just end up. And some of the things look better on the computer monitor than they end up looking, and I end up being disappointed. And so I'm really trying to use up the makeup that I have now, because I'm not seeing things that are really, really rocking my socks right now. Except B&H Cosmetics has this palette from their travel series called their Tokyo, and it has kind of like the rainbow bright colors. Now this is the Too Faced Then and Now palette, and I really loved it at first when I saw it when I was buying it. And I'm telling you, it has so many neutrals in it that it just. I'm almost saying to myself, why the heck did I buy it? I mean, because okay, it has a purple in it, but it's not bright at all. And this blue is not bright at all. And it doesn't even have a white or a light enough color to use on a brow bone. So, I mean, for a person who's. Hi, Amir. How are you today? Thank you for joining my stream. Funny, my live streams tend to start off about a subject, but then they evolve into kind of a general. Let's talk about life and what's going on in our worlds and what's interesting and what's new. Uh, I've done a pretty good job of buying what I thought would be enough skincare to last me for the year, even though I missed the sale, the big Decium sale, the 23% off sale that they have at the end of the year. I actually didn't shop it at all. When a lot of actually, I don't think I got any of the Black Friday sales that were going on because I didn't have any money for shopping when that was going on. I get paid through gift cards and things, and I have to, in order to get them, first of all, the ones that come in the mail, they take 2 weeks to arrive. And other things, you have to have a certain balance to cash out to get certain gift cards. So my N95 masks, I have a whole bunch of them. Amir likes it when I showcase my N95 masks, and I don't like to disappoint people. So what I have in my hand here is a bag of masks. And every now and then I'm open to requests. And so now definitely something from here is going to be what I'm going to be wearing when I go to get my vaccine. I'm hoping I get my vaccine this week. Well, my first, because I'm not getting the Johnson and Johnson. This is the KN95. This is a worn N95, and by worn I mean it is quite worn. Here is here's an N95 that my mother actually sewed straps of a surgical mask on when the original straps broke. One thing I hate about masks is how the straps interfere with the earrings. You have to always be careful. I gotta watch the lipstick I'm wearing is not the kind that is mask friendly. Matter of fact, it's not even technically a lipstick at all. It is, well, it's purple, so I can't imagine it not supposed to be a lipstick, but I believe it was just called a paint stick or something. Oh, where did I put it? I think it may be on my bed. Hold on. Yes. The aura. I think that's in the hallway. Some of these things I keep in the hallway so that I can grab something on my way out. Oh, you know what? I know where I can grab it. Hold on. Hold on. All right. There we go. Hey, Tabby boy. Tabby boy. Here's my baby. Here's my Tabby boy. I want to make sure that, wait, I want to make sure that my hair does not go in the candle. Tabby boy. Tabby boy. Okay, ignore me. Fine, be that way. This is going to be fun with the earrings. This mask is really interesting because the straps go above the head instead of over the ears. And it's also interesting because this is where the nose part is, and this is a mouth. And you've got to make sure that the one and I'm never doing it the proper way. I know that. See? No. Got to put both. I want you to see the real hassle this does with the hair. I want you to appreciate this. It's a real pain, okay? I don't mind protecting myself. I don't mind taking my health seriously. I don't mind protecting other people. I don't mind making people around me feel safer. A lot of this has to do with how other people feel. I understand that. Oh, this is something that's interesting. Let's see what happens to a candle flame with an N95 mask. I believe I watched Dr. Sanjay Gupta say that if the mask is fitting properly, you should not be able to blow a candle flame out. Well, let's find out. Well, see, the N95 really does keep the candle flame from being able to blow out. But now I have no more candle, and that is a problem. So, if you excuse me. I'm back. So, now we've established that when you wear earrings and you have long hair, these things can be quite problematic. Well, if I could redesign these, I would have the straps go around the ears. Because, as you can see, having the strap go around the hair, that is a real problem for many people. But that said, the good thing about this is this would be a perfect mask for somebody who had certain kind of injuries. If they didn't have their ears, for instance, if the person had injuries from the war and they all their ears was internal, then they wouldn't have anything for traditional straps to grab onto. But something like this could fit for that person. So this is an instance where that kind of mask would definitely be useful. It's got the good fit. So this might possibly be the mask that I wear when I go to get my vaccine. Unless, of course, I think that the medical people there might feel uncomfortable with seeing such hardcore PPE being used by a non medical person. I would like to think at this point that they'd be glad that people are taking protections seriously. I'm going to plug this back in. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't know if the cord will fit there. No, yeah, I can't plug this in right here unless I'm at 41% and I'm powering down. So I think I'm going to move this to here so that I can plug back in. If I was outside, sure, I would have that mask on for plenty long. But right now, it just seems too odd to too many people to wear it indoors unnecessarily. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Oh. The temperature definitely has dropped. Yesterday, I was thinking of doing a video, the kind that you edit and stuff, and it was actually warm. I was going to wear a crop top and everything, and I set that outfit aside to wear today, and I had to wear long sleeves. I really was, the temperature, there's definitely temperature difference. Yesterday, I actually opened up the window for a bit. It seemed really beautiful out. I would have liked to have actually gone outside in it, but I can't be two places at once. And there was some interesting atmosphere going on, and there was really no good reason for me to be outside. Let's see if there's anything in here. Tabby boy. My tabby boy. Oh, he's my baby. I got baby cat. Oh, my cat. I have quite a mess to clean up with, thanks to Cassie in the kitchen. I'm really not looking forward to that. But I mean, I picked it up once already. She did it again. I'm halfway thinking I'm just gonna leave it there. Next person comes in the house, I'll at least see what she did. I'm still playing those special videos in the background that they have on YouTube that has the subliminals that talk about being rich and having prosperous, attracting money. I'm a money magnet. I am rich. I am this. I am that. And I play that in the background while I'm doing other things. And they have some that go on for like 8 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours. And I would like to think that there is some benefit to them. I mean, I'm not going to go and tell you that uh, I'm seeing these miracles happen and I'm picking $100 bills in the street or something. I hope. I mean, I would like to think that something like that could happen. But one thing that I am noticing is I live with two other people. I live with my mother and I live with my brother. And my brother, his room, it's like almost like his another apartment. It's down the hall. And he can't even hear my sound system. I have a crappy whatever is built into my computer. And he seems to be finding money. He seems to be, people offer him work. He seems to have luck at the casinos because he likes to play poker and stuff. And he's a gambler. And granted, he's not afraid of taking risks and things. But it seems to be rubbing off on him. And since he's the one that talks to all the bills are in his name, so he's the one that does the negotiations and stuff. But I'm thinking, how can something that you're playing? I'm seriously have been playing these things for months. I mean, why I'm not Donald Trump by now, I don't know. But the thing is that I guess you can't. It's not enough to just listen to things. You have to try to put things into practice. And the thing is, with this pandemic, I'm not feeling safe to go out into the world and interact with people like I normally would. And I was having real problems in the casinos with trying to film, and security kept on catching me. And then I found out that sometimes I'm working on trying to edit this footage together, and I'm realizing that I'm sending the wrong message, I think, about myself. And I want to be a little bit more forthcoming about things. And like I'm spending all this time hanging out in casinos, and meanwhile they won't let me even film there because, well, you're not supposed to film on casino floor anyway. But you got some security guards that have real attitudes, have these power trips, that even when you're in these art areas that are nowhere near the casino floor, I'm like 20 feet from the casino floor, and this chick was just giving me attitude, and I don't like to be around that kind of negativity. If I'm out and I'm all dressed up and I'm in a good mood and I'm maybe hanging out with friends or whatever, I don't need somebody um, making things unpleasant. And I know they're just doing their job and stuff, and I didn't think to ask to speak to the supervisor because there was other people around that just wanted to gamble and party, and I felt like I didn't want to be an impediment to their happiness. And the thing is, I understand that it's probably not easy hanging out with a content creator because they're busy filming and trying to create their stuff, and meanwhile the people around them are just trying to go about their business. And if you're just trying to party and gambling, and I know gamblers can be very superstitious people and they don't need drama to interfere with their doing what it is they're doing. And meanwhile, if you're a content creator, you're just trying to get the shot. You're trying to set up things and you're trying to look. In my case, I can't speak for all content creators, but one of the things I'm looking for is I'm looking for beautiful things or things that fit the narrative that I am trying to show. If it's a live stream, then it doesn't involve any editing. So I'm going to hopefully be where the adventure is and you'll get to see a story arc of some kind. But if I'm just shooting a bunch of footage that I'm eventually going to edit into something, I'm still needing to find where the I need to be where the stuff is it's going to be worth filming. And the thing is that I want to be more honest with things, and you can only be as honest as you're safe to be honest in your environment and stuff. And plus, the kind of what are your dreams? What kind of people do you need to associate with to make your dreams come true? There's so much to think about. But when I realize that I'm in a place that I'm here because I do like having a roof over my head, but it's not necessarily the place where I want to be. So I'm going to be making videos. If they're not videos that are in my studio, I'm going to be filming what I have access to. And, but I feel that to be trying to film in places where all I'm doing is getting in trouble with security, that's very unsatisfying. And I can't really advocate for things like gambling because I have a real complicated viewpoint with that. I know what it's like to live with a family member that has compulsive gambling, that they're absolutely addicted to it, to the point where bills don't get paid, but they're always playing a hand of poker or something. And if that's not available, they are playing the lottery all the time. I know what it's like to live with that. And I know what it's like to have things that are associated with drinking to excess because I quit drinking for a reason. And it's complicated also because I live in a town where this is the industry that employs half the people, and this tourism industry is what's keeping everybody alive. So I don't want to seem too much like I'm discouraging it and I'm demeaning it, because obviously, I mean, my mother worked at the Trump Taj Mahal for 16 years. So that has literally paid our rent. But that said, you can't be in an environment living in and around something without intimately knowing the full picture, including the dark side of it. And it's not just about how I don't like when security gets up my ass when I'm trying to film. That's not even really what it's about, even though, sure, that's part of how I feel about it. But it's this whole thing of what gambling does to people, and how, yes, it's fun when you're winning. Everything's fun when you're winning. But what happens when, now, see, what I don't understand is, let's talk about consent. Alcohol and consent. How can you consent to anything when you have a bunch of alcohol in you? Pot, at least, now I can smoke a whole lot of this and it does not make me stupid, okay? It might make me crave a piece of chocolate. It might make me eat a big old bag of barbecue potato chips. But really, it does not cloud my judgment. But you can drink a bunch of alcohol. And I've seen people who won thousands of dollars and put it all back. And I don't dare open my mouth because it's not my business. And I wouldn't tell a person how to live. Okay. But it's very painful to watch somebody do that. I don't like seeing people lose money. Okay. There. And especially when it's not $5 and $10. That's painful. And when I see what alcohol does to people, and it reminds me of why I quit. And I know how vulnerable it is when you're under the influence of alcohol and if you don't have anybody around you to look after you. And there are times in my life when, boy, I wish I'd had a friend around. This is the girl that likes to dig through trash. She likes recycling because she likes to dig through the shredded paper. That's what Cassie likes. Right? Right? She's so pretty. But yeah, don't want to. I don't want to. Some people think of me as an Atlantic City YouTuber, and the thing is that just because I live in a place doesn't mean that I want that to be. See, some people, they are happy with a town They want to be associated with it. They want that to be part of their identity. They want that to be part of their brand. Uh, and matter of fact, there's somebody I live with who that is part of his brand. He identifies with this town, and that's probably even helps you to grow faster as a YouTuber or as a content creator, period, because it gives you more of an identity or more specific of an identity. Myself, I don't want to be limited like that. I mean, I'd be very, very critical of this town because there's a lot of negative things that are going on here. And where I live, especially, there's a lot of craziness because it's a very chaotic urban area, and there's a lot of gangs and violence and scary stuff. And when I have to hide my hair under a hat and put this, I'm glad that I have this big old face mask on. And there are times when I even slip out without wearing makeup and everything, and I look like any uh, a homeless crackhead on the street, and it's a survival thing. And I've never lived any other place in the world. Well, I've never been outside of America except for Canada and Mexico. But I mean, I've never felt I've had to do that any other place. I've never felt that much in danger. Even in and I've lived in some gangy areas in Los Angeles. But and even I wasn't that scared when I uh, painted over the MS-13 gang graffiti that was right underneath. There was this apartment I was living in Hollywood, and they did graffiti right underneath our window. We lived in the first floor window, right in the front, and this the XV3 was right underneath the window, and it was like, nah, that was not acceptable. So I went out in black and I X'd it out, and I'm sure that that would have got me an ass whooping at the time. But you know what? Fuck that ghetto bullshit. But yeah, where I live, there's a lot of that, and it's sometimes I just don't. It's really convenient. There's a pandemic going on now. That it's very convenient. That it's easy to just hide away in your house, especially when you see so much negativity outside, and it's noisy, and it could be an episode of Cops with gangs and all that stuff, and it's really depressing. So we got this pandemic going on, and anyway, I don't want to be. I miss traveling. I have all this footage that you haven't seen yet from Washington, D.C. There's things that I want to show, aspects of my life that I don't get to show anymore because I can't go anywhere because there's no clubs. I miss doing the club life things, talking about the adventures on the dance floors. There's stuff about different subcultures that I want to get into that I have not gotten to show off. There's things about myself that I've never gotten to explore. Uh, so much of it is because of the pandemic. So much of it is because of political divisiveness. And I noticed that with the internet, it used to be before the World Wide Web, people can have different aspects of their lives and they can live their lives and they can do things and they can live their complex, sticky, complicated, interesting lives. And now it's so hard to do things without people knowing your business. Even if you don't say things on social media, it's hard to have a private life anymore. And anyway, it's yeah. I would like to do more things with my channel that don't involve it looking like it's some love letter to Atlantic City or something. I really don't want to. I don't want to be yelled at by security guards. I don't want to show things that are really not what I'm about. Okay, and I'm not about taking chances that I can't afford when I have bills that I can hardly pay. And there's a lot of people that are struggling too. And that's why I want to continue as part of the focus of my channel, talking about ways to save money, ways to live a really quality, fun life even if you have an extreme budget, ways to acquire things for free, ways to survive and keep your dignity intact and keep your moral standards intact. And I want to still feel free to talk about my love of cannabis. Okay. And I still want to be able to show off beautiful art. And I still want to do the makeup and skincare thing. That's not going to change. And matter of fact, I think I'm going to, I thought that I was going to be cutting back a little bit on the makeup, but I realized I can't do that. Makeup and skincare is such an important part of my life, and it's an important part of and a large reason why a lot of people watch my videos, and I can't ignore those core people that were with me from the beginning. And I don't want you to think I'm abandoning you. I don't want to treat my friends like that. And if you've been with me that long, you feel like friends to me. And I don't want to lose sight of things while I grow and evolve. And I am grateful that people are being patient with me while I figure out this YouTube thing. I mean, I'm still figuring it out. I feel like I've been doing it quite a while now. But my channel is growing much slower than channels typically do, and I think it's because I'm not niched down, because I talk about a lot of things. I have my cat content, and I like to squeeze the weed stuff in while I can, um and the body piercing stuff, I like to talk about that. And the thing is, I was going to showcase, I changed my belly ring yesterday, and because it was much warmer yesterday and I was wearing that crop top, I realized that because I was wearing the long sleeves today, it wouldn't have even mattered today because nobody could see it. And but you know what? That said, since I brought it up, let me put this stuff down, and I'm gonna unplug this computer because I do want to show off the belly ring I changed. I almost uh went shopping on Wish for belly rings, but you know what? I'm really thinking that I should probably, my next piercing jewelry, I think I should get better quality stuff, honestly. But this is the belly ring that I'm wearing right now. Let me put this down here. This is a key. I don't know what that light sounds like. Is that gunshots? Let's get near the window. I don't know. That sounded like gunshots in the distance. I'm serious. This neighborhood, but one thing though, if I ever do a video that's just about scary stuff, I'm not going to have my face on the thumbnail because I don't want to make enemies. Okay, I have to. As much as I am against censorship and things, I'm not stupid and I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to say something that's going to get me killed. Okay, and I will admit that I have taken down a few videos, but I did it for my own protection. And there may be a couple that I made private that someday when I've moved away from here, I'll be able to open them up because I think that they are kind of funny, amusing and stuff. But until I can get to, I think maybe once I get the 1,000 subscriber mark, then you see the more with YouTube, as it bigger your channel gets, then you unlock certain privileges. One of the privileges I'm going to look forward to is going to be able to have this thing. We used to be able to send out bulletins to people, even when we had hardly anybody at all. We used to be able to like just tell them something, kind of not like a newsletter maybe, but even if it was a paragraph or just kind of like, okay, it was kind of like status messages on social media. where if there's something that I wanted to sell people, and let's say I was having computer problems and I wasn't able to make videos, but I was still able to go to the library and, use social media and stuff. I could let people know, look, this is what's up. I'm having problems, even though you can also use the comments and stuff. But there are times when I'm having computer problems, and that's pretty much the only time that I would not be making content. There were two times when I took what now they're calling mental health days. I was just not having a good time. But normally if I miss a scheduled day, it tends to be tech problems. Either problem with the computer that I'm filming with, or a combination of that and Wi-Fi, since you need Wi-Fi to post. And I remember having to go to the casinos to use their Wi-Fi to make sure that I got my video in. And I've done streams from the boardwalk in different places. And when I was in Washington D.C., I did filming from. They have some of the parks have Wi-Fi in them. Some of the buses have Wi-Fi. They're blanketing more and more Washington D.C. with Wi-Fi. So I miss Washington. I really have such a good time when I'm there. I have some friends there, and the architecture is amazing there, and obviously the political purposes, which is normally why I go there. There's normally two reasons why I go to Washington D.C. It's usually political purposes or something involving marijuana. And these days, marijuana seems kind of political too, because especially the uh, legalization thing, which is getting better and better and more successful. But we really need to legalize it on the federal level. If anything, that's one thing that I was hoping our current president would be good at. He seems a little nervous about that. I would think he would be cool about that, but maybe because he's an older gentleman, and some people just can't warm up to cannabis. As much as I would like to think that people should be uh, enlightened now, it has so many health benefits, and it's certainly benign. I would like to think that people know by now that it's really not dangerous, and some people just are not open-minded enough to give it a chance, maybe. Like people like my mother and my father. Well, my father's dead now, but my mother just will not. She has no interest at all. Is not, even if it would help her with her pain issues. Now, one thing that I've also been curious about, but I balk at the price, is CBD. It's supposed to have so many benefits, including for pain management. And I would love to experiment with it, but it's so expensive. It's ridiculously expensive, and you're not even getting a high out of it. And I mean, I just can't justify the price. And so many things are ridiculously expensive. And another thing that is sickening how expensive it is: edibles, marijuana laced edibles. And first of all, so many of them are in really what I don't even consider to be palatable forms, gummies. Who is it that invented the thought that having that texture would be food? I mean, really, there is somebody that thought that that was okay. And they are so ubiquitous now that they make them into vitamins, and you can get the cannabis-infused gummies. And I'm thinking, why? I mean, that's just, you're putting that weird, yeah. And I was asking about edibles a couple weeks ago when I knew I was going to be in one of the casino rooms, and like I think they started at $15 or something. And now there are, speaking of the sparkling waters, I get a lot of magazines free. You can take these surveys and get free magazine subscriptions. And right now, I get oh God, what am I getting now? I'm getting Cosmopolitan. I'm getting I forget. I get different ones. My father died in 2009. So, but yeah, he would never be cool with weed. My brother and I even cooperated one time on making him some pot brownies to so that my father would have more of an appetite. And my father, as soon as he found out that there was marijuana in it, he said, "These brownies taste like shit." He just would not be open. My father was always very anti marijuana. You know, his generation called it wacky tobacco, and he was just not. But yet, alcohol was okay. And I started having problems with alcohol, and I honestly had to quit it. And I went to meetings. I never had to go to rehab or anything, but I went to AA meetings, and I occasionally would be willing to go. Of course, there's that whole issue of passing the hat, and I don't tend to go to things that have charges if I can help it. Um, some people are that poor. So, and of course, the last time I went to a meeting was the time that I was in Washington D.C. And when I'm in Washington D.C., I tend to go there for political purposes, and I didn't know that I was going to end up at a meeting. So the only stuff that I had when I was there was Trump stuff and marijuana stuff. So I had stuff with pot leaves on it that, of course, I had to cover with a Donald Trump button. And of course, I had the MAGA hat on, and nobody said anything. It didn't occur to me that it was inappropriate because I didn't think that I was campaigning. It was just the clothes I had. And of course, I had sense to cover up the pot leaf, but the only thing I had to cover it up with was a Trump pin on it. And I was told afterwards by somebody that he thought that was inappropriate or something. And the thing is, he was not somebody that was in any position of authority there. And it left such a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't go to any more meetings that time that I was there. And it's a shame because there are times when a person who is in the program, so to speak, is kind of in the mood for a meeting. And I was in the mood for meetings. And, I felt that my kind wasn't wanted there. And have we gotten that politically divisive that people are feeling that rejected, that ostracized just because of how we think? And if we're in a situation where we don't have a whole lot of clothing options and the only clothing we have are those things which separate us into those groups that might be deemed undesirable to other people, you know. And again, I have a hard time with censorship. I have a hard time with people telling me what to wear or what to say or don't be so intense or don't be so provocative or don't be so expressive. I have a hard time with that. And I know that I'm not the easiest person to be around sometimes because some people, um, it's like, even with people with whom I agree with ideologies and things, I think once I am not once I'm not convenient for people, once I make things a little bit challenging, that's when people think maybe other people are not easy to deal with. Because once things are not easy, like if I'm walking around going through a casino, and yes, I did take a discreet little uh, video, like a half a second passing slot machines, but not getting people involved. But anyway, having those confrontations with the security guards was, I'm sure, cramping the style of the people that I was around. And so, there are times when being around other people can be complicated because just people are complicated. And anyway, that's why I spend most of my time by myself. So, yeah. I can't believe it's been an hour, 45 minutes, and 25, 26, 27 seconds. Thank you guys for joining me on my stream. It's now 10:24 p.m. It feels like it's even later than it was. Uh, would anybody be offended if I took another hit? Because, again, I don't want to end up getting in trouble with the YouTube algorithm. YouTube is basically run by this robot. And I'm sure that people can individually file complaints, if they want. Though I'm noticing something when I occasionally get harassed by somebody, and sometimes there's strangers that'll just make rude comments. Belly button king! Oh, I was thinking about you earlier. Uh, did you hear that I changed my piercing? Oh, look at the one that I'm wearing now. Oh, I don't want to spill the weed on the keyboard. Here. Unplug this. Can you see? Well, anyway, I hope you can. So, since we're all reasonably some facsimile of grown-ups here, and since I have a smoke inhalation device here. See, there are some people that I was watching a couple years ago that were very blatantly smoking on YouTube, but the thing is, their channel was very specifically just about weed, and all they did was walk and talk about weed, and it was very, very explicit, and they had their very specific audiences, but where it gets complicated is when life gets complicated, and my life is never about one thing. Even though, strangely enough, when I eat, I like to eat my things one thing at a time, and I don't normally mix things together. So that's one little quirk I have. I almost forgot that today was 420. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but I was more focused on, I know what my YouTube channel is, and I had decided that I would live stream instead of doing the edited videos, since these kind of videos are so easy to do live anyway. And since I was so enthusiastic about that light, you know, oh, here it is. And again, this thing, the best $6 plus $2 plus tax I've probably spent in a long time. Okay, where's the paper? I see my tabby boy. I wonder if that was gunshots that I heard earlier. It's really a shame, because this neighborhood, if not for the gang violence and stuff, it would look nice. and we're close to the beach. But now I'm wondering, they keep on saying that even if we get vaccinated, we still shouldn't take chances and we still should avoid crowds and things. So, should people bother buying concert tickets this summer? That's what I want to know. There's a lot of bands are touring this summer, I heard, and a lot of it is 80s hair metal bands. I love that kind of music. Kiss is coming to town. Kiss is touring. Kiss is going to be at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City in the end of August. And I remember when Paul Stanley got his shot. So that's a tour that I would like to see, even though I've seen Kiss a lot of times. But that said, I can't tell you that buying concert tickets is in my budget. But with some of these shows, like the only place that I really try would be Boardwalk Hall or places on the boardwalk that I can walk to. But there you could stand outside, and every now and then people give away tickets. Sometimes radio stations have uh, extras. Sometimes people have extras that they got from casino comps and stuff. So, but if it's a place that I had to take a bus to and then wait around, then it wouldn't be worth it. Because what if I took the bus and I waited around and I was unsuccessful? At least if I'm on the boardwalk, then it's no big deal. I took a walk, I hung out for a couple hours, nothing happened, I went home. But if you hang out and you get in, uh, I got in to see Def Leppard that way. And who else did I get in that I saw that way? You just have to hang out outside between the time. The only thing is you usually miss the opening act. I have some pictures that I took of in getting in the Kiss and Aerosmith, and yeah. Oh, here's the thing. Oh no, I was hoping that I could get the candle and the flame. The candle is actually on the laptop itself. Oh. 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 I'm going to show this again. The wish code VWTPBRG, I think. Yeah, VWTPDRG. Okay. Well, yeah. Sit that down. So, if you can, I hope you take advantage of that. I'm telling you, Wish is not a disappointing site. And I discovered that was one of the first good things. Uh, the things that I've mentioned the things that I like. Take a look at uh, other videos. Anything that I've mentioned that I bought off of Wish, I've talked about. I mean, because I've had people that tell me that they don't like Wish. I've had people complain about the quality of things that they've gotten, but I think it's like anything else. A buyer should beware. I always read the reviews. With my jewelry, okay, I have bought a lot of jewelry lately, and I know that it's not expensive stuff. I know that it's not the kind of stuff that I can wear all the time and expect not to rub the finish off. But still, like certain things that I know is the finish won't rub off if it's already silver colored. Um, I am very happy with my jewelry. I'm trying for this not to fall off of here. That Chromebook that worked until recently, that saved my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, here, I'm gonna, this box here, this has, here, this is what saved my YouTube channel. You know, computers are funny devices. When you drop them on street corners, they break, okay? And I had this happen in Washington, D.C., dropped a computer getting off a bus and it broke. So when your computer breaks, you need to buy a computer. I got this. Now, this doesn't work anymore, but, and this is the error device that shows. But anyway, I got this for $70 plus $12 shipping and whatever the tax was, all told $90. This Chromebook bought me like 6 months time before I was able to get a Windows machine. The thing is, you cannot edit on the Chrome OS. I mean, you can if you use, there's certain sites that there's a paid software, or that the free version gives you 5 minutes of editing time a month, and it's like 5 minutes is nothing. Even for storyboarding, you know darn well that you need more time in that. But anyway, this bought me time to keep my channel alive so I would have something to film, even because these don't have hard drives. With these, you can live stream. So these are cheap. I bought flash drives from Wish. One thing though on the flash drives, I have a Best Buy Geek Squad Total Tech Support membership that I pay $22 a month for. I or somebody that I live with does. Uh, Thing is, they advise me don't get your flash drives there. Flash drives, it's better to get at a place like Best Buy where they actually do have good prices. I mean, whenever I go there, whenever I need flash drives, they always, ironically, happen to be on sale. Uh, this is a ring from Wish, very comfortable. I like it. Not much more than $1, all told. But again, you probably can't wear them like you can your silver rings that maybe you could wear all the time. Makeup. I am very happy with the makeup I got on Wish. I'm going to look at a box of makeup. Oh, you guys haven't seen what I've been putting my makeup in lately. Well, now I have to put this someplace else. I have so many boxes. Things. I discovered that putting all this makeup in one box, I couldn't really dig through it because it was all I couldn't dig through it. Now this looks like a terrible mess, and I'm trying to use one hand my computer. Okay, this is a book catalog. But some months ago, somebody asked me to do a video that was my makeup collection, and the thing is, to do a video like that would be futile because makeup, you're always getting more and you're always getting more and you're always getting more. And things like mascaras, obviously, you use up and you get rid of. But you can never have a complete makeup collection video. But I'm happy with the makeup, especially considering that I'm getting a chance to experiment with brands that I wouldn't know exist. I'm just an American and I'm proud of being an American. But one thing is, because I'm not rich and I haven't been able to travel the world and stuff, I wouldn't know about a lot of the world's brands. But through sites like Wish, I'm able to get companies that maybe people in the UK and maybe people overseas are very familiar with, but that I wouldn't otherwise know about. And like, okay, here's a makeup company that I never heard of, Kmadu. They are big in Asia apparently, and this is a takeoff of the Huda Beauty things. Now, obviously, you're not talking something that's made for its durability, but that said, this is made of that. Uh, oh, what do you call this? I just dropped this, by the way, and it didn't spill onto my computer. This weighs nothing. For travel, what do you call this material? It's squishy. It's not cardboard. I don't think it's paper. I don't know. But anyway, for travel, something like this weighs nothing. But no, I'm thinking about getting. See, I'm thinking of getting a tablet because I'm thinking of portability. I'm thinking of filming for my channel. Okay, want to know what else I've gotten from Wish? Here, let me show you some other electronics I've gotten from Wish. Some of these things I haven't used yet because I haven't really figured out how to use them. This camcorder, I got this from Wish. Okay, and this was with tax and shipping and everything. It was less than $30. It was like 22 or something. I forget. Uh, I got this digital camera from Wish. The only reason why I'm not using it right now is because the instruction manual was written in such broken English. My mother, who was an English teacher, but English was not our second language, we couldn't make heads or tails of the instruction manual. But that said, I've had digital cameras before. If I just sit down with this, I will be able to figure it out. Like I figured out the basic things like um, choosing the file size on your pictures. I remember that. And on the menu, the Best Buy guy showed me how to go from still picture to video to sound only recordings. That option is with this. So I got these from Wish. So now this I did not get from Wish. I don't want to confuse you, but on the subject of electronics, I need to learn how to use this. These look like glasses, right? Maybe like somebody like Ronnie Millsap would use. But these things have a built-in camera. And if I could figure out how to work it, the only thing is I would imagine that the light will go on and that would give it away. And and the thing is you couldn't show yourself, and I'm thinking you would have to see there are controls here, I think. Anyway, that's going to be a learning curve. And I just have not had the time to figure out any of this stuff. Because when you're a content creator, there's real pressure to have 3 new pieces of video a week. And I don't want to just have limited to, okay, those 3 things that I think I have planned. I like to have options. Like, in addition to this video that you're watching right now, I have 2 makeup tutorials in the can, that so that at any given time I can put something on that I already have recorded, or if some breaking news happens and I feel the need to either go live with something really important or immediately go on video with something that's really important. But I really like going live, especially great with breaking news and things. And live is also good with things that you research, like getting some news items together and saving them and having notes and then going live. And one of the things I've discovered with going live is the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. And I try to draw on inspiration from some broadcasters who I really respect, living and dead. There's people on TV and on radio who I look up to who aren't doing anything like what I'm doing, and yet I still can take certain things from them. I like to learn from people who are doing things that I think are quality. Look who I got. They have things for cats on Wish. They have these things that are supposed to be like lollipops that are supposed to be infused with catnip that cats lick. That I was thinking of getting to see if they like them. It's just I don't want to get things that end up being totally disappointments. And at least jewelry, I can't see how it can be a disappointment. But a food item that somebody doesn't eat, that would end up being a total waste. This is my tiny one, my baby, my sweetheart. Oh, my sweetheart, my sweetheart. Leo, I love my tiny boy. Oh, he's a good boy. That's my good boy. Are you purring? No? You said you asleep. You asleep. Okay, I will put you back. All right. I don't need a new piercing in my eyeball. No, okay, there you go. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this into the kitchen, and let's see, do I have, oh, let me get my cup. I'm going to get some tea, and then I have to take a red pill because my sinuses are totally going. I mean, they've been kind of for a large part of the day, but now it's getting hard to breathe, so. Oh, who made this mess? Oh my goodness. Except for the other mess. Look at that. Who did that? No, not the sweet, innocent little slip of a girl. Cassie. Oh, let's see that guilty kid. Look, did that. Who did that? Can't hear a word I said. Cassie. Yeah. Does no good to yell at this cat. I'll be in my bed, and she'll get up on the stand-up desk and she likes to knock things over and climb around and get up on the radiator sometimes. And of course, you yell, and it does no good, and it gets really frustrating. And I get my voice gets louder and louder, and I'm finally realizing she's deaf. Thanks for showing up, Metal Hobbit. I really appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, spending some time with me. Okay, I gotta get a Sudafed. And I'm gonna get some tea. Boy, am I glad I'm taking this pill now, because I'm sure you guys can hear my voice is not getting good. Cassie, I have all this mess to clean up. Thanks a lot, Cat. I love my kitties so much. I love my cats. Boy, they do make messes. Lemon. It's nice to see you and talk to you too, Belly Button King. And my tea and my Sudafed. Yeah. I don't like being stuffed up. Now they say that the wind's gonna kick up, and we're gonna start with a drizzle tomorrow morning. It's gonna turn into a thunderstorm. The rain is supposed to be hard tomorrow. The wind's supposed to really get heavy. So tomorrow is not going to be a day anybody should be going out in it. But I set up appointments with the state of New Jersey scheduling system for COVID-19 vaccine. And the Walgreens around here had it until they didn't have it. The New Atlantic City Convention Center has it. I signed up with their scheduling system. I signed up with something else. So there's like 3 different scheduling systems I signed up for. There's supposed to be a big bunch of it that's walk-ins that are supposed to be available. See, there used to be a calendar here. I'm trying to visualize this without looking at a calendar, and that's really hard. Damn it. You know what? Let me bring my calendar. Yeah, give me a second. Okay. Get my calendar. Okay. All right. I'm looking at my. See, these are how I arrange it. This isn't for my life. This is what I use for YouTube. I have other calendars I use for different things, but this helps me to plot out at a glance my YouTube for the month to month. Anyway, we're supposed to get today. This is today, the 20th. We're supposed to get a whole bunch of walk-ins available between Thursday and Saturday, between the 22nd and 24th. And I just got set up my appointment with one of those things. So hopefully I will be eligible. Well, I mean, eligibility, everybody here in the state of New Jersey, everybody 16 and up is able to get the vaccine. So, meanwhile, my mother, if this is easy enough for me to get, then I should be able to get my mother to do it. But the thing is that she can't stand around. She really can't stand. And the thing is, they have those chairs that are the walkers with the seats built in things, and she has a walker and everything she uses. But that's the thing is that she wants to go to a place that's either easy walking distance or that she's willing to take a jitney too. But heck, even what I would consider easy walking distance, she'd probably still take a jitney too. Okay, I'm going to put this back in my room, and then I'm going to bring this back in. Okay, I'm back. I got a mess to clean up. Oh, look how I see here. What's that? What's going on here? Oh my goodness, I got a mess to clean up. Oh no. Oh no. I got a mess. Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah, the makeup did turn out nice. Oops. Look at this mess. Oh, this is a mess. Thanks a lot. You know what? My patience has its limits. I did a half-ass cleanup, and you know what? That's enough. Now everybody's home, so I don't know. For some reason, I thought that he was bowling today. Because today is Tuesdays. But, you know, when I know it's Tuesday, all I really think of first and foremost is it's YouTube posting day. That is my obligation and my main responsibility. And that's really what I tend to focus on. I'm gonna plug this back in here and grab my tea. And I don't expect the cats to come back in here anytime soon, because now that he's home, they're gonna want to try to get whatever they can beg off of him. He has a different kind of dry food in his room, and so they'll play starving to him, get the dry foods in there. Maybe he has canned food in there. Then, of course, we have dry food and canned food here, so these cats are not starving. Hot tea really helps too with the sinus issue. It's supposed to get, the temperature's supposed to drop tonight, and I hope it doesn't get totally to freezing like they say there's a chance of, because I can see buds on the trees, and it's always a sin when we have these frosts, these freezes, when we have the premature warm-ups, and I don't know that it's even that premature, but still, you never know. I remember one year when I was in high school, we had snow after Easter, and I remember that day because we were having a poetry reading. I went to these creative writing workshops, and they're basically these poetry readings where people would read their stuff and they would party afterwards. They would go on the boardwalk. There are these different places where we would go. They had benches, and people would have beer and wine coolers and weed, and somebody would have radio or boom boxes or something. We'd play music and get high, and cops wouldn't come around too much, so generally speaking, we got away with it because we were not total hellions. If there's a way to be civilized when you're partying, when you're in high school, we actually were, because we didn't attract too much attention to ourselves. But I don't think in this day and age that would be possible, especially considering, I mean, it's really remarkable considering the fact that there was alcohol involved, because alcohol, you can't really filter yourself and deliberately try to be quiet and unassuming in things, but we definitely, nobody wants to draw attention to themselves when you're doing something that's technically illegal, and partying technically is, but it's kind of ridiculous in a way considering that it's a thing that under other circumstances is totally legal, especially considering that we were all kids. And if you're over 21 and you're in a club or something, it's something nobody would bat an eye. And the thing is now with marijuana being technically legal, and that's so great. It's such a great time to be alive. The things that I remember being so seriously worried about things when I was younger, like when you're any pothead always thinks about police dogs and the smell of pot getting in your things. And like what purses do you have to always remember you had weed in them at one time, so you never want to have them wherever there's going to be police dogs that might clue them in that maybe you would have they would have probable cause to search you and stuff. And if you do any kind of traveling at all, you'd be worried about that. So it was always a real big worry that because these dogs have this unfair advantage and they can smell, they have this superhuman sense of smell, and they can use that against you, that anything that's ever touched weed would be forever tainted and you were in danger. And I remember when I would be taking a Greyhound bus going back and forth, and you know how they have these pipe fittings? There are these rubber stoppers that fit in any size bottle, and there's a stem and the pipe bowl. It's metal, of course, and there's the metal stem, and you can use this to turn any bottle into a pipe. Well, I had spilled a couple of those pipes in my leather jacket, in the lining of it. So when I traveled, I put coffee grounds in the lining of my leather jacket. That way, it would make it smell much less like weed. Because bong water, whenever anything bong water smells, that's quite distinctive smell. So, but anyway, I didn't have any run-ins with any police dogs when I was crossing the country. But it was something that you think about. But now that there's more and more legalization, states are. But then there's the federal level that we have to worry about, and only when it gets legalized at the federal level, then can people be totally relaxed with things like transport. And what happens when you have a motorhome? Like this bus that I want to get. I mean, you think I'm not going to be smoking in it, but you have to think about what if it's a vehicle? You have to think about what is the area that's considered the driving area, and then the rest of it's non-driving area, and just making sure that the smell alone doesn't cause you to get it impounded and lose your home and stuff. And I think that the more they legalize it, they're going to have to revisit those aspects of the law. Because if it's obviously your home and you're obviously in that part of the bus and you're not anywhere near where the driving part is, there's so much to think about. And the fact that rent's so expensive, which is why people are exploring options like that. Not to mention the people who just love the idea of being able to travel and stuff. But one thing, though, that kind of sucks about it is the idea of downsizing you have to do ahead of time. And that's kind of what I'm in the process of doing. And my closets, this is driving me crazy. They're warping due to the weight of the wooden thing. I will show you. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of the. Yeah, well, I'll show you this. You see how it is the weight of the pole. It's sagging. I'm afraid that if I put any more on in it, it's going to break off. Well, my mini skirts, I have a separate chest of drawers that just has the skirts in it. And that is here. Here, I'm trying to show you something, but I also have a stool that was keeping that from being able to open up all the way. Okay, this is where I keep my mini skirts. And I don't think there's room for any more. As you can see, they're on these kind of hangers. Each one of these things can hold 6 of them or even more. But look at this. There's no, it's not even that it's blowing so much, as that there's really no more room. Now, if you would ask me how many I have, I don't know. A lot. And I don't want to get rid of any of them. Occasionally, I'll find that the elastic is starting to go in a waistband or something. And if that happens, I find one of the things you can do is you can make holes in it and then take a shoelace or something and thread that through. And then you buy yourself an additional 10 years or something. Because, I mean, why should you have to get rid of perfectly good clothes just because of a little, problems with elastic? I'll show you one, matter of fact, that I had to do that with. Oh, here. This, I had to make holes in it and thread a shoelace through it. But if I hadn't done that, it would have stretched out. It would have gotten so big, and I didn't want to get rid of it. And since I don't have a lot of green skirts, and it's very useful, and anyway, I used to have certain hangers. Here, you can't even see what I'm doing. I used to have certain parts of this for certain skirts, and now I just hang whatever will fit wherever. Yeah, looks like my skirts are outgrowing my closet. You know what I'm looking for that I'm having such a hard time finding? These containers. Have you seen these containers before? They are supposed to be for storing under the bed. But look, they're clear. You can see through them. This is stockings, okay? These are my colored stockings. Colored stockings that are not red stockings and are not white stockings. I have a separate box that has white stockings in it, or white and black stockings. The red ones were also with the white ones. I had to put the red things in their own. Actually, they're in a string backpack that's red. But I need a couple more containers like this. This has bras in it. This has stockings in it. If I had more containers like this, then I would have more room to put things, because I don't have room in my closets. I'm afraid that pole's going to snap. The front room that was my grow room, that closet, that was originally just for the coats. And coats obviously are quite heavy. But that thing, that pole, looks like that could snap too. So if I can find some more of these, and now obviously mail order would not be good for something like this because they are so bulky. And I've never ordered from Amazon before. And I understand your Prime membership just went up. And that's the thing, is paying a yearly fee just for the privilege of free shipping. See, normally I get free shipping through uh, meeting the minimums on orders. The thing is, for sites like Wish, they don't have free shipping. That's the thing that sucks about Wish, is that it takes forever for things. Forever meaning that slow boat from China. That could take you a month easily. But they're good about refunding if something didn't arrive. And they will also send me coupon codes for 10% off if they know that an order has been especially late. So, and there's things that I'm thinking of getting even now, there's I really thinking of getting some soundproofing. You see, here's where I'm thinking of putting the soundproofing. You see where the Trump 2020 no bullshit flag is? That's covering the windows. And if I had soundproofing around here, maybe just from okay, you can't see what I'm pointing at. Just from here on to there. If I had soundproofing maybe underneath there, maybe that would prevent the ambient noises from the street and the yelling and screaming. Because you get these people that loiter, and sometimes they'll loiter right underneath my window. And then if it's raining some, people will hang out there because it juts out some, so they'll stand there to get out of the rain. And as much as I like it kind of when it rains, because it cuts down overall on the traffic of the people, not the traffic, but I mean the foot traffic and yelling and screaming and stuff. But if they're going to hang out underneath to get out of the rain, then they're technically right underneath. And in the summertime, it sucks because they'll be smoking when they're doing that. And if any of the windows are open, then tobacco smoke gets in the house. And I, generally speaking, very frequently do not open my windows, partly because of that reason and also because of the idling of the car engines. And that just drives me crazy. I mean, I hate that. My mother cannot, she's only getting 25% of her oxygen out of her blood. So when you have these assholes that are running their car engines, and I mean for half hour, 2 hours, they sit in their car, they're playing around on their cell phones, running their engine, and that is what that does to the quality of the air. And they don't care that every hour that a car engine idles, that adds a pound, at least a pound, of solid particulate matter to our air. Can you think of that? Each car doing that, and that becomes the smog that people end up breathing. In Los Angeles, I lived in Los Angeles long enough to tell you about the smog there, and that really does affect some people with asthma and stuff that are more sensitive to it. And what it does to the plants, the trees, and stuff. And there's other animals that are more sensitive than we are. And so anyway, but it's kind of you're fighting a losing battle because most drivers seem to be pretty ignorant of it, or they feel very entitled that as long as they're paying for the gas in their car, it's their car and it's their property, and they can do with it what they want, and we should feel that we have a right to having to say so. So, and I try to impress upon people that that's uh, the exhaust from your car will fill up the stairwell, and but it's really hard to reason with people. It really is. So I'm going to plug this back in so that I can get back to charging, and I am going to have some more of my tea. Oh yeah, don't forget I got my YouTube pillowcases from Wish also. So you'll be seeing some things I'm going to be decorating my studio with. Most of them I am going to be getting there, even though I am thinking of checking out. There's this company called Harbor Freight that's known for their tools, and I was going to be looking at some lighting there, but because I need a floodlight to hit me when I do my turnaround, I need a light that will show off my hair. Usually, I'm so far away from the camera that by the time I do my turnaround, the light doesn't hit the hair, so it doesn't show it off as well as I would like. And so that's the next thing, or that's, well, not the next thing, but it's something that I want to get, because something like that, if I got it by mail, that would be kind of heavy, and that might be the shipping charges. I'm almost thinking I might be better off trying to buy something like that locally.
One of the places that I used to buy from when I was younger, it's a store run by the Salvation Army, and the they were right on the Albany Avenue Bridge, which is one of the few ways that you can get here in the city because it's an island. And obviously, an island you have to get on by bridges. But that's where the store was. But now with the COVID and everything, I don't know if it's even open right now. So, but my mother thinks that that might be a place to look for things, anything like furniture or lighting and stuff. And plus, if you go there with a light, uh, so that there's no way that they could not know if it works. That way you could check it out before you take it home and stuff. Because I do want to get some more lights for my studio. And yeah, okay. It is now 11:20 p.m. It is. We've been doing this for 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 13 seconds. I know that it's probably got to be some people's bedtime. I'm not tired or anything, but my sinuses are really bothering me. And I'm sure that you've heard me at my better than this. So I think I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't do this without people. Otherwise, I'd be talking to my deaf cat, and while she's very sweet and cuddly and all that, it's just not the same intelligence level as talking to other human beings, thoughtful, caring human beings like the people that watch my videos. So, if you haven't already, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe and hit that bell so it looks like it's ringing, and that way you won't miss anything I post. I'd like to take you along with me on my adventures, and I make 3 new videos a week for your viewing pleasure. So hang along with me, it gets even better. Love talking to you. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.